Hueycoatl is old school RuneScape's most accessible PvM group massable boss. It's one of the newer bosses in the game, teaching players some essential mechanics that they need to break out of the mid game. There are a few different ways to take on this boss. You can show up here alone and grind out 15-minute kills. You can coordinate your kills with a few buddies and get it done much quicker. Or you can fly through at a lightning pace on one of the designated Valamore PvM worlds, smashing the boss down in about a minute. This makes the boss so versatile. Doing it in a large group is super forgiving. Your team members can pick up the slack. And while soloing the boss is definitely not an endgame level achievement, it really allows you to practice some essential PvM movement and prayer switching skills. The less people in your group, the more chance you've got of getting a unique item, and the Dragon Hunter wand is pretty pricey right now. If you want to fight the Hueycoatl, the only solid requirement is to have the Children of the Sun quest completed. It's super quick and easy, so go and get it done. We'll be using melee against this boss. I'd recommend a minimum of 60 attack, strength and defense. You can get away with less, but drops here are contribution based, so the more damage you do, the more you earn. You can do this boss with some super budget gear. Monk's robes and a dragon mace is the lowest advised on the wiki as an example, but this setup that I'm about to show you is a happy medium that most players should be able to afford that doesn't sacrifice too much DPS. A Nezi helm, an amulet of glory, a fire cape. If you don't have one of these, why not? Check out my fight capes guide, it's easier than you think. A mixed hide top, obby plate legs, a Zamaraki and Hasta. Crush weapons are super useful here. Any god blessing, Barrow's gloves, dragon boots, and any ring. I've gone for a berserker, but whatever you've got on a budget is fine, and a dragon defender. There are some optional extras you can bring, some spec weapons and switches. An Archon blade, dragon mace, or dragon dagger are fine as a cheap spec weapon. Dragon and burning claws go hard here, but they aren't cheap. A double hitting crush weapon like the glacial Tomotlis or dual maracas will absolutely melt through one of the phases. If you have the maracas and the full blood moon set to go with it, definitely bring that as your gear. It's super slept on. Your infantry doesn't need to be anything special. A few prayer potions, a super combat potion, and as much food as you can fit. Remember, there's a bank right next door. Now you're all geared up, the easiest way to get here is with the Pendant of 80s teleport to the Dark Frost. If you haven't unlocked that, using the nearest Quetzal you've unlocked, or just running from Civitas are your other options. If you found this video useful so far, drop the video a like, it really helps spread my content to other people like you who need it the most, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I'm releasing new boss guides every week, always keeping things as beginner friendly as possible. If you want to support the channel even more, check out the awesome merch from Creator Crafted using my 10% discount code. It's 10boot. They've got all sorts of cool RuneScape stuff to spice up your office or gaming space. I've got a nice new desk mat on the way. Moving on to the mechanics, this boss has a nice mixture of movement and prayer based stuff to deal with. It's got a unique optional mechanic that you can engage with to massively speed up kills, which we'll cover later. Here's everything you need to be aware of. There are multiple phases, but in each phase, there are two consistent mechanics that repeatedly show up. Avoiding the blue glyphs is the primary movement mechanic. These show up on the floor, and after a few seconds, if you're standing on them, you will take damage. You probably don't want to take damage, so if you're standing on them, move to a tile without a glyph. The prayer mechanic is the standard color-coded projectile. Some big crystals will fly towards your character. Pray melee for the red one, range for the green one, and magic for the blue one. Keep your prayer on until you see the hit splat. The fight is broken up into 4 phases: the body, the head, the tail, and the finale. In the body phase, these two mechanics are basically all you have to do. Whack down the body parts that come out of the holes in the mountainside. They can't damage you, so just use your correct prayer and don't stand in the shit on the floor. Once you destroy all the body parts, you'll run up the mountainside to the main boss arena for phase 2. This is mostly the same as the tail phase, but with a twist. Whilst you're attacking the head, you can sync up your prayers to charge the coloured pillars on the left hand side of the arena. Each colour pillar corresponds to a protection prayer. When you've got your protection prayer above your head, it charges a pillar, and if all the pillars are fully charged, you get a 30% damage boost. The best way to explain this is by thinking about a group of 3 players. If each player keeps a different protection prayer up at all times and only flicks quickly to protect against whatever projectile is about to hit them, all 3 pillars will be permanently charged. In bigger teams, you just do your best to split the prayers evenly across all players. This requires some communication. It usually just gets ignored completely in a mass world. Once the boss's HP hits around 50%, you'll enter the tail phase. You'll see a tail come out of a hole on either side of the arena. You need to switch targets and attack it as it moves. This is where you put on those double hit weapons if you bought them. You'll deal massively reduced damage to the tail, so getting more hit splats in is way more important than having a big max hit. Whilst you're attacking the tails, they'll be sending out shockwaves. There are 2 ways to avoid them. You can stand in a safe spot. There's one safe spot either side of Huey that I've got marked on screen right now. You need to stand on the safe spot opposite to whichever tail is sending out the shockwave. Or you can wave skip. If you run over the wave at the right time, you'll simply not take any damage. I go into more detail on how this works in a different video because it is quite complicated, but it is really useful at other endgame bosses like Yama. The tail will swap between either side of the arena, letting out shockwaves every time it switches. At the same time, you'll still be dealing with the usual prayers and glyphs, so don't forget about them. Once you get the tails down to 0, you'll enter the final phase. The final phase is pretty similar to the head phase, but this time you'll have to deal with the tail shockwaves as well as the 2 normal prayer and movement mechanics. She also attacks a bit more frequently, just keeping you on your toes a little bit. Once Huey's down, you can wait in the arena. You'll be kicked back to the start when she respawns. That's everything you need to know to get started with a Hueycoatl. This is a super fun boss to do as a group. The profit isn't crazy unless you get a Dragon Hunter wand, but it's a great place to practice mechanics that you'll be having to deal with right up until real endgame content. We send this boss in the community Discord and clan all the time, just as a chance to hang out and introduce people to their first group boss. If that and much more sounds like something you'd be interested in, check out the link in the description. We've got a great community of players tackling all sorts of content. It's great fun. I stream live every week on Wednesdays and try and go live when I can at the weekends, either just sharing my progress through content like the Coliseum or taking learner streams. Twitch is the best place to catch me, but I'll be on YouTube too. Massive shout out to all of my YouTube channel members and Twitch subscribers. Your continued support genuinely means the world to me. I appreciate it. That's it from me. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you next time.